What is going on, guys? My name is NoPunIntended, and welcome to coverage of my Week 1 battle for the Minor Pokemon League. This is a different one. Nice. If you guys enjoyed this video, then please make sure to leave a like or a comment on it, because I would very much appreciate it, and it would be very nice. This week, we're taking on JohnnyGB, coach of the Oregon Ducklets. The two rain teams are squaring off in the opening week of the Minor Pokemon League season. And Johnny's team is very, very threatening. In fact, his rain offense actually beats my rain offense, because Mega Swampert is not in a great position to take on Pelipper or Kingdra or Ludicolo, considering it's rather middling stats when in comparison to their high offenses and greater base speeds. So I can't really rely on that in my matchup. Johnny also has the Mega Medicham that horrified me so much that I took Marshar in a third round just in an attempt to check it as much as I could. But with that in mind, let's get into my team builder for this game. This is going to be a quicker and more rough team builder just because I have to make 2 videos a week now for this sort of thing, and I just don't have as much time as I would like to give a full analysis of what I'm doing. I brought Calm Mind, Leftovers, Mono Electric Attacking, Zero Aura, because Johnny's only electric immunity on his team is Golem, and he does have a Vigavolt that resists electric, but otherwise his team is very vulnerable to electric type attacks, and I think Zero Aura can set up and take advantage of that. To assist Zero Aura, we have Dual Screens Klefki that also has Thunder Wave in order to slow down his Rain Core, so that Zero Aura can set up a Calm Mind before they attack it. The idea is that if Zero Aura can get up those Calm Minds, then their attacks, even in rain, won't be doing nearly as much damage to me. Keldeo is another decent answer to the Rain Core, and then it's running the Assault Vest, so it can better take special attacks, as Johnny's Rain Core does lean on the special attacking side, considering he doesn't really have a physical sweeper in that department. It's running Scald, Secret Sword, Hidden Power Electric for the Pelipper, and then Stone Edge for the Articuno, assuming that if he brings it, it's going to be a more Spadef set, and I am kind of worried about Articuno against my team. And then we have the more bulky defensive half of the team. Physically defensive Musharna is at my best check to Mega Medicham. It's running Psychic, Baton Pass, Rest, and Sleep Talk. That way it gets more reliable recovery in rain, although I don't know how reliable Rest necessarily is. And if Johnny brings the Skuntank, I can Baton Pass out on a potential pursuit so I don't take the increased damage. And that's very helpful because I need the leftovers in order to better handle the Mega Medicham, so I can't afford to put a Colberberry onto my Musharna this week. We have Yachi Berry Vileplume, speaking of type resist berries. That's another sort of check to the Rain Core, more so Ludicolo, just because I don't know what that mon's going to do. Moveset is Strength Sap, Stun Spore, Sludge Bomb, and Hidden Power Ground, which is primarily for the Doublade, who otherwise is immune to Vileplume Sludge Bomb, and is really the only thing that doesn't want to, that is okay with switching into that kind of attack. And finally, we have the last second ring of the week, which is my Regigigas, running Thunder Wave, Return, Knockoff, and Heavy Slam. This mod is designed just to take maybe 2 or 3 hits and then attack 2 or 3 times over the game. Just get a little bit of damage on. I really did not know what my last mod was going to be. It was originally Mega Swampert. I didn't like the Mega Swampert matchup just because of that Rain Core being able to beat Mega Swampert, so I just sacked it and brought my 1-point mod, because why the heck not? Looking over at Johnny's team, though, there's very few surprises. Rain Core is here, as well as the Mega Medicham and the Mimikyu. Vigavolt does annoy my kind of team because I don't have great bug or electric resists. So yeah, he definitely brought 6 mons that are very good against me, but to see how good they are, we're going to jump right into the battle. Anyway, I do want to give a shout out to Blue Rogue for recording this game in nice high quality HD Citra, the first time I ever had one of those battles on my channel. It looks so beautiful. Regardless of my graphical tastes, I realize that my team is a bit haphazard, but I'm hopeful that I can win anyway. The plan to start this game off is to lead with my Zero Aura and just click Volt Switch. Johnny has nothing on his team that can outspeed my Zero Aura, unless it's a Scarfed Mon. But if it's a Scarfed Mon, I can abuse that. However, when I see Johnny lead with his Vikavolt, that's when things go downhill. I'm very worried about the Vikavolt because in one of my mocks, it was able to just throw off strong Bug Buzzes and Energy Balls and Volt Switches, and it was really a problem for my team to handle. I didn't like it. Because of the threat level that Vikavolt provides to my team, I elected to divert from my original plan, and knock off his item instead, which is revealed to be an Assault Vest. This was a huge mistake on my part. You don't let your win con get knocked down to half of its total hit points, unless you're shell-shocked like I was. Let this play illustrate my mindset during this game. I was pretty worried about my chances to win throughout. With this in mind, though, let's move on. I'm going to switch into my Vileplume because I don't really have much else that isn't crippled from Vikavolt's stab combination, but he goes for Volt Switch instead of another Bug Buzz. I kind of wish I stayed in with Zero Aura and Calm Minded here, but there's not a ton I can do about it right now. However, he now switches into his Mega Medicham. Normally, Medi has no switch-ins, that's what I've learned from using it in PCL, but in this case, I designated my Musharna as my check to it because it's pretty fat and resists both of Medicham's stabs. But he actually clicks Double Edge here, and if he goes for it again and gets the same roll that he does here. He actually KOs my Musharna. Now, the funny thing about this is that during the draft, I told Johnny that at least I had one of the few counters to Mega Medicham on my team, so I didn't have to worry about it when we played week 1. I guess he thought about that when I said it and decided that, wait, Double Edge might be able to get to a KO on a defensive Musharna anyway. So, nice move on his part. However, he does have to take quite a bit of recoil from doing it, and in taking that recoil damage, he puts Medicham in range of some of my other mons, so it's not a total loss for me. Regardless of all of that backstory, Johnny does not know if another Double Edge will take my Musharna out from this range. And if it doesn't, his Medicham most likely won't survive a Psychic after the second round of recoil. So he instead makes the switch into his Mimikyu. I guess he was okay with the potential that his disguise would be broken. I mean, I'll take it, I guess. Not having to worry about unnecessary disguise pressure is really nice. I've already have enough pressure on me as it is. But here I make a very questionable play, but not for the reason you would expect. As the Mimikyu sets up a Swords Dance, I'm going to Baton Pass out of my Musharna and go to my Regigigas. Now you may think that it's a bit crazy to allow your Mega Medicham tech to take a Ghost type attack from Mimikyu, but I'm like, Mimikyu is like base 90 attack. It's not doing a whole ton of damage to a fully physically defensive Musharna. In my mind, Johnny has to click Swords Dance here. What I should have done was gone for another Psychic and then hard switch into Regigigas rather than this Baton Pass stuff, because he's definitely going to go for the Ghost move against me, and Regigigas would be very much immune to that, and then afterwards, I can go for Heavy Slam, and Psychic into Heavy Slam should KO a Mimikyu, assuming that it doesn't have that much bulk investment. That should have been my play, but I see that Heavy Slam only does about 70 to 82% to Mimikyu with the Slow Start active, so instead I just decide to Thunder Wave the Mimikyu, and that way a lot of my team will be able to outspeed it after the fact. Unfortunately, not Regigigas, because I forgot that with Slow Start, Regigigas is actually slower than my Musharna, which is pretty pathetic. That's kind of a little fact I forgot when I drafted Reggie, so a bit unfortunate, but the Mimikyu's going to take me out with a second +2 play rough. And then I make another bad play by going hard Zero Aura. I thought I could just Volt Switch on the Mimikyu, but then I remembered that this thing does get Shadow Sneak and might be able to weaken me quite a bit from here. So instead I just double out into the Vileplume anticipating the Shadow Sneak. He just goes for Claw, I guess. And it does quite a bit of damage to my Vileplume from here, bringing me down to like 37. But because I got the Thunder Wave off earlier with my Regigigas, I am able to outspeed the Mimikyu, go for Strength Sap, and gain all that HP back. Honestly, after that happened, I'm not sure there's many other more satisfying moments that I've had in Draft League than just seeing Vileplume's health go from a quarter to full all the way. That's just so cool. And now what I'm actually going to do here is go for the Sludge Bomb. It's a very aggressive play, but I'm anticipating that Johnny doesn't want to stay in and get Strength Sap repeatedly, so getting off some damage on his switch-in this case the Pelipper, is actually very helpful. It brings it down to about a third of its max HP, and the aggressive plays with Vileplume do not stop there. I'm going to stay in and Sludge Bomb again, because I don't think he's going to click the Hurricane. I figure that Zero Aura seems like a very obvious switch in here, and Johnny would be very willing to pivot out of Pelipper on the Zero Aura and go into one of his Swift Swim mons. So in staying in, I have a chance at Effect Spore, I don't get it, and he's forced to go back into the Mimikyu to take yet another Sludge Bomb. Unfortunately, because of Mimikyu's very good base special defense, this is only a 3-hit KO, but I still beat this mon one-on-one, so it's not that big of a deal. But something very interesting does happen right here. You notice that the first time the Vileplume was in on Mimikyu, it outsped. Now that the Mimikyu's come back in, it's outspeeding me even though it's paralyzed. And I'm like, is this a speed tie? Really? I guess that great accidental prep, except not really, because if I invested 8 more speed, I wouldn't have to worry about this, these shenanigans. Instead, now, the Mimikyu, well, the good news is it gets fully paralyzed for a while, so it doesn't get to do anything. But I am just going to keep going for a Sludge Bomb, getting it down to red, and he does manage to finally break through the paralysis and goes for his Z move, which I'm assuming is Z Shadow Claw. I don't think he would go for Shadow Sneak because it doesn't have priority, but he's able to get off a decent chunk of damage onto my Vileplume. I didn't see the point of Strength Sapping again because I was at full HP, and I still was under the assumption that on the previous turn he went for Shadow Sneak, and thus I still outsped. So, didn't come into my head. It doesn't really matter too much because I am able to kill off the Mimikyu, but my Vileplume is within range of Pelipper's Hurricane, and I am going to elect to make the aggressive play and stay in again, but this time it does backfire as I lose my Vileplume, which admittedly was pretty expendable of a Pokemon, and also allows me a free switch into Zero Aura, but it still would have been very nice to have for one of the mons he's going to bring out a bit later on in the game. For now, though, I can just go for a Volt Switch as Johnny does not have any more electric immunities on his team, or rather, he doesn't have any electric immunities on his team. The closest thing he has to one is his Vigavolt, but without the Assault Vest, it's going to take a little bit more damage from my Volt Switch, and I basically just get a free switch into Keldeo as a Rain Boosted Scald should take out his Vigavolt from here. So if he wants to keep it around, and he does, he's gonna switch it out here. And he actually goes into the Ludicolo, which is a good play because it does 4 times resist the Scald in itself. I don't snag a burn, and that is especially not good for me because he reveals that he's not actually Swift Swim Ludicolo. He's Rain Dish with leftovers. And this is when I realized that keeping Vileplume around would have been really, really nice here. Because Vileplume does a lot of damage to the Ludicolo, and it can't Leaf Seed it either. So I probably should have sacked off the Musharna rather than the Vileplume to the Pelipper earlier on in the game. But it just kind of stinks because the Ludicolo is going to get back up to pretty much full HP at the end of exchange. And I am going to have to sack my Musharna because I don't have anything that could really threaten it out by doing a ton of damage to it in one hit. So I do sack off the Musharna here. I'm now going to go into the Klefki, I believe. Yeah, I go into Klefki, and I'm going to get up a light screen in order to at least try to reduce the damage that I take from the Ludicolo. The sad part is that he's still going to be able to Leech Seed me and drain my Klefki's health, which is bad because I don't have any way to restore it at this point. And I'm just going to try to get the Zero Order setup going right here. So I'm going to paralyze the Ludicolo, even though it doesn't matter too much because it's not actually Swift Swim. I just want any advantage that I can get. And then I'm going to click the Reflect in order to get the physical damage. We don't need to see much more of this. He's just getting a ton of HP back from my Klefki. But on this turn, I am going to elect to switch out into my Zero Aura. He does manage to get off the Scald. Thankfully, it isn't rain boosted, but unfortunately, he does snag the burn here, and that is going to counteract my leftovers recovery. So I'm not going to be as effective setting up here as I would be without that. But the Hax Gods are going to come back to me in a big way here because as I go for 2 Calm Minds in a row, he's going to get fully paralyzed on the first Calm Mind, and then he's going to get fully paralyzed again on the second Calm Mind. I would assume that he would try to go for Leech Seed here to once again drain my health, and that might have made it so that he could have easily revenged my Zero Aura, but because he did not get off the seeds, I'm able to get up to +2 special attack, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to risk this Ludicolo getting off some kind of a crit or something and breaking through the light screen, so I am just going to go for the Thunderbolt, and with my +2 special attack combined with the Spadef drop that Ludicolo suffered from Musharna's Psychic a bit later on, we do manage to kill it in one hit, thank goodness for that. That Mon could have very well not swept the game necessarily, but it could have just finished on all my mons right there. So he's forced to go into the Pelipper because nothing on his team outspeeds my Zero Aura. Without rain, at least I assumed that, but it turns out the Pelipper is actually Scarfed, and because I'm not max speed investment on my Zero Aura, because I didn't feel as though I needed it, he is able to get off a Hydro Pump on me. It reduces me down to 28 HP thanks to the +2 special defense I have from Calm Mind, as well as the light screen, so not very effective at all. And I do manage to kill off the Pelipper with a Thunderbolt. So his Rain Setter is now dead, but he still has his Rain Sweeper, the Kingdra, at full HP. And at this point I realized that there's no chance I'm going to be able to get Zero Aura to work here, so I am just going to sack it off to Kingdra Surf. This Mon is definitely a threat, and I feel as though I need to get Klefki in at full blast in order to properly check it. In my mind, Klefki cannot beat the rest of his team. It's too weak to be able to handle the Vigavolt and the Mega Medicham at the same time. Klefki's best use at this point is getting back up the light screen so that my Keldeo can better take hits from his Kingdra and his Vigavolt. I am a bit disappointed though because the Kingdra is able to one-hit KO my Klefki from this range with a single Surf. I thought that light screen might allow it to survive one, but I'm not that fortunate. He might have even been Specs here because the only move he clicked with his Kingdra was Surf. So who knows what that was. But anyway, it's going to be Keldeo versus the world at this point. It's got to take down the Kingdra, the Vigavolt, and the Mega Medicham in order for me to win this game. It's my last hope, so let's go for it. Johnny's Kingdra is going to be able to get off another Surf onto my Keldeo, but I am Assault Vest and behind a light screen, so it just glances off of it. I'm going to go for Secret Sword in response, and it is a 2-hit KO, so as a result, I only have to take 2 Surfs from the Kingdra, and Keldeo still had a decent chunk of HP, so not all hope is lost here. However, I do lose out on the Rain because his Pelipper was not Damp Rock, and because of that, he's going to feel a bit more comfortable going into his Vigavolt, which I'm assuming does have quite a bit of HP investment because it is an Assault Vest variant, or it was Assault Vest until I knocked it off. But because of the bulk investment that he presumably has on the Vigavolt, I don't actually get the kill with the Scald. And I'm like, ah, gosh, I gotta take a T-Bolt now. But once again, Assault Vest plus Light Screen means that I am able to survive. I can get off another Scald, the Vigavolt goes down, and now all of a sudden things seem a lot easier. It's gonna come down to Keldeo versus Mega Medicham. The fate of Week 1 is gonna depend on this one-on-one matchup. So let's see what happens here. I'm at 44 HP, but I am able to outspeed. I go for the Scald, it brings the Medicham down to red, and I don't get the kill. However, I do snag the burn. He's gonna go for the Drain Punch. Is it gonna be enough to knock me out? Yes, it is. And that is how my week 1 battle is going to end. We lose 1-0 because Keldeo was not able to kill the Mega Medicham with the Scald, but it certainly did give it its all, and I'm happy with how it performed. Would have been nice for Klefki to survive the Surf from Kingdra and get up the Reflect in addition to the Light Screen, but you can't have it all. Definitely GG to Johnny. This game probably should have been with more differential in his favor because he did get fully paralyzed 4 times, but I think the right guy ended up winning this battle anyway, considering all that. And he did get a few instances of hacks on me as well, namely the Scald Burn on Zero Aura kind of stunk. And he did land a few 80% accurate moves, but then again, 80% accurate moves are technically supposed to hit, so we'll ignore that. I do wish him luck for the rest of the season because I know he does have a very good team. In fact, he probably has a better rain team than I do, but only time will tell on that one. Anyway, if you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure to leave a like or a comment on it, and I mean that. I really do appreciate all your likes and all of your comments. Subscribe to my channel to catch more of my future Draft League videos. Go check out the links to the other minor Pokemon League coaches in the description, and until I see you next time, take care.